According to a report released last week by the Canadian Housing and Mortgage Corporation, the number of people that moved to Halifax from other provinces in Canada in 2021 was the most ever in more than 30 years. That, coupled with Nova Scotia's high COVID-19 vaccination rates and low COVID case numbers, made the province really appealing to people from bigger and more crowded cities. But with the announcement yesterday that Nova Scotia will be lifting all COVID-19 restrictions on March 21st, could that mean that the province's hot housing market could finally cool? Well, let's find out what Clinton Wilkins thinks about all this. He's the principal mortgage broker with Centum Home Lenders Limited, and Clinton joins us live from Halifax. Hey, Clinton, good morning.
Hello, Alyse. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you again. It's been a little bit. Good to have you back. We are 2 months into 2020 now. Clinton, typically we see things slow down at this time of year when we're not in a pandemic, and things really slow down in the Halifax area and right across the region. So are things slowing down at all right now in Halifax and across HRM?
I don't think things are slowing down in terms of maybe the demand in the marketplace. I think what is really slowing down is, it's really an impact of supply, specifically in HRM. We're at record lows amount of supply in terms of what homes are for sale. So I think that's certainly impacting it. For us in the mortgage industry, it's very, very busy. So Alyse, a lot of people that own homes already are obviously looking at refinances and renewals, obviously due to the rates. And due to, the benefit of the increased equity that they've really appreciated over the last couple of years. I think in terms of new buyers entering the market, certainly there's some challenges, obviously, with supply, and it's very competitive out there.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. And we talk about that often on the show. So that's good to know. We're kind of still in this place where we can call the market hot, even though in normal times this would be sort of a slower time. What is keeping the market so hot? I mentioned off the top there, Clinton, about, people coming from away and moving here. Is that still the case? Is that what's keeping the market so hot, or are there other factors here right now?
We're definitely seeing people relocating from other markets. I think that slowed a little bit. In 2020 and in 2021, I said before that it's probably about 30% of the calls that we were getting in our mortgage brokerage were from buyers getting pre-approved from outside our market. So from markets like BC and Ontario, where homeownership is really very unattainable for many people. The one interesting thing about Halifax, and really all of Maritimes and Atlantic Canada, homeownership is still available for many. In Halifax, our average home price has increased to around $500,000, and that is still very affordable compared to many other markets across the country.
You're so right about that. You're right. When we look at it relatively speaking, we are still, even though that sounds like a lot, $500,000, nothing to sneeze at, but that is, comparatively, that is lower. With restrictions being lifted, and this is what I really want to get to this morning, Clinton, and things beginning to get back to normal, we hope, on March 21st, does that mean that we will finally see the housing market cool?
I'm not sure we're going to see it cool. I think we may see less buyers from other markets across the country, potentially. That might be a situation. We normally say spring into home ownership, and that's normally our busiest time of the year. So I think it's a little bit of, I'm cautiously optimistic that the market will start to balance, but I'm not really convinced that it's going to be balancing until, we see a lot more supply come on the market. Obviously, anyone who owns an existing home, it's a great time to sell because the demand obviously is very, very high, and it really is a seller's market. But we need to understand that if you're selling and you're going to sell, at a high price, you're probably going to buy at a high price. So unless you're right sizing or changing, maybe the location of your home or maybe the style of your home, I think in many cases, people that own homes already potentially are staying put, so they're not listing their homes like they normally would potentially in the spring. And existing homeowners are definitely leveraging the equity in their home to do things like renovations and really make their home how they want it. So I think it's a little bit of wait and see, and I'm cautiously optimistic, but we need a lot more inventory, and I suspect the demand in the market is going to continue likely for the next 20 years. So I don't think we're in a situation where we're going to see prices soften, I think potentially we're going to be in a situation where the price growth may slow over the next months and years while we get more inventory online.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's not an overnight fix, this building of inventory, and like you just said, 2 decades. So good to get your insight. I think there was some good news in there.
I'm optimistic. But I'm optimistic all the time, Alyse. So I think you kind of have to be in this market.
That's right. If there's one thing Clinton Wilkins is, it's optimistic and very knowledgeable too. Thank you, Clinton. It was great to see you this morning. We appreciate this.
Thanks for having me, Alyse. Have a great day.